with regards to the U.S. House of Representatives, which has passed the National Defense Authorization Act, and which will be now considered for the bill will be considered by the Senate. And to take us through this conversation on the U.S. Biosecure Act, Siva Chittor, the CFO of Sai Life Sciences, is joining in. Also joining in is Ekta. Ekta, over to you.
Thanks, Hormuz, for that. Well, Mr. Chittor, thank you very much for taking the time out. I do understand that you're on a flight. So just a couple of questions. This U.S. Biosecure Act is likely to be enacted into law by the end of 2025. What is your reading? Is it a much watered-down version as compared to what the street had earlier anticipated?
Good morning. I don't believe that this is a watered-down version. I think the way the Act was originally structured, as we had mentioned earlier, is a little difficult to administer given the names were all listed in the specific Act itself. I think they've gone to the general 1260 list, which kind of lists companies of concern. And this would be an annual updation as what the current regulation states as it is standing today. I believe this is a positive from an India CDMO, while I believe most companies have already taken this and have already started, discussions in India with respect to moving work to India. Companies that are probably waiting for a final decision will now start acting, and this will be a big positive for the Indian CDMOs.
What I wanted to understand is that there specific company names listed which a U.S. company should probably refrain from doing business with in this U.S. Biosecure Act?
They will, and yes, there is a current list of DoD that is already available in the 1260 website of the Department of Defense. But there is also ability for them to add and subtract that list. I think more importantly, this symbolizes that question of uncertainty on whether I should do more business at a specific location, or should I diversify and reduce my overall concern rather than wait on a year-on-year basis whether something is going to get listed there or not. I think that is a big positive from an India perspective.
So we know, multiple CDMOs have told us over the past year or maybe even more than that they have received RFPs, requests for proposals from companies because of the Biosecure Act, because of the China Plus One opportunity as well. But how much of this is converting into tangible business? And when can we probably see it in the numbers?
I think you're already seeing, you've seen our numbers. We've grown well, and we've met or exceeded numbers that we've presented. I think the significant strategic conversations that we are engaged in, I'm sure others are engaged in too. Pharma will take a little bit of time. As conversations start, you probably start smaller, and strategic conversations and actions take a little bit of time, maybe 18, 24 months timeline before you will start seeing meaningful numbers out of it. But we are starting to see, significant strategic conversations that we are engaged in. And I believe that these will all show up in the next, couple of years. You will see companies showing up, better numbers and growth projections from the CDMO side.
I'm going to come to Sai Life in a bit, but just to close the loop with regards to when the industry is possibly going to see these numbers show up in tangibly, would probably be by, say, FY27 second half to FY28 onwards. Is that a fair assumption?
I would guess so. I think the most important thing is if the companies are working already with large pharma, I think it's possible. If they are not working with large pharma, it will take 3 to 4 years at least.
Okay. What about your company in specific? If you can just leave us with how much your RFPs have risen in the past 1 year, and how much of your business today comprises of this particular opportunity?
So on the CDMO side, our pharma business is close to 90% of our total revenues. We work with 18 of the top 25 pharma companies. Some relationships that we have kind of cultivated over the last 2 to 3 years time frame. So in our belief that these will kind of get accelerated, we also have existing relationships that we've had over a few years now, those will also move into strategic conversation. That's really what I believe. And I believe that, this presents a good opportunity for Sai.
All right. Thanks a lot, Siva, for joining in. Thank you, Ekta, for taking us through with that conversation as well, the Biosecure Act and the impact that it will have on, the Indian pharmaceutical space. Meanwhile, before we take that short break, just pull up the intraday chart.